I'll tell you. I had a boy.
Oh, now you gonna preach to me, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna preach. And you gonna listen!
Oh, shit. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Welcome, everybody, in the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Most Merciful. I bid you in the words of peace. Shalom. What's up? Yo, so, you know how I do. We're here today because we were blessed enough to wake up and open our eyes to a wonderful world. Man, check it. If you notice, man, they done got me. Them people over at StreamYard, they done got me to do the trial. I kind of like this little layout. I'm just not a big fan of $400 a year, $400 something. I'm gonna have to come up with some other kind of way to get some kind of revenue generated from this. If y'all got any ideas of what I could do, please feel free to let me know. If you're in the chat, just wave, use viewer comments, show. Okay, I'm trying to. What's up, man? Okay, I don't know. Maybe people are here or not. I see a couple. Oh, there we go, Miss Merv. Foo. Baby girl, I'm sorry I missed your live, man. It was I ran out of time this weekend. I was running around. As you can see, I was producing some material that came out. Skunk, welcome, Skunk. The bro from down under. What's up? Notice I didn't do a cheesy Aussie accent either when I said that. What's happening? So yeah, it was running around, man. I'm always running out of time. I have no business being on the mic right now, but I had to come here. I feel like, man, did I tell y'all I'm paying for this StreamYard? So that means I'm going to be using it a little bit. That's right. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I was listening in a little bit. I was up in BJ's. You know, they got a horrible signal in there. So, we had to do our little monthly re-up to get all the house supplies, the paper towels, the paper plates, the paper toilet paper, the paper, and whatever else we could get. I don't know. I was just buying all kinds of random. Well, no, I wasn't. I'm lying. I got what was needed. I ignored all the other stuff. I was tempted, but you know how we do when we go shop. We was like, damn, we got out of here for under $300. We did good, but nonetheless, we made it. So, man, I decided, right? As y'all can see, I've been kind of like rocking and rolling, going through a few things. We didn't come here to talk about that. We come here to balance it out because what I say, you got to be the change in the world that you want to see take place. And this is the way we do it over here in the boring sector, which y'all already know that's a sarcastic thing because the boring network is anything but boring. It's thought-provoking. It's mature. It's unlike anything that you've ever seen or heard. Don't need a whole bunch of thrills and fanciness about it. All you need is a simple microphone and the sound of your voice to carry it out. Man, I realized something. I'm gonna start out because y'all know I like to keep it real with you. Man, I'm kind of addicted. I'm caught up in the drama and addiction of social media. And I always ask the question, man, what are you here for? Why do we come here day after day? I always ask that question. Ask yourself. I can only ask myself. Why am I here? You know what I'm saying? Now, I noticed during the pandemic, like I say, it was a lot going on. We got bored. There was a whole bunch of drama. Hey, look, I I'm here to entertain. That's why I'm here. I come here to entertain. I come here to make you laugh, come here to make you smile. I try to I'm trying to bring a little bit more content that's useful. We talk about content. We talk about content creators. I used to argue with people and say live presentations are not content, but they are. Anything you do is pretty much content. Now, quality thereof, oh, that's a whole nother story. So, man, I'm here because, well, why are you here for? Well, I'm here because we need to fill up the space. We need balance. It's all those things that I called for, all the things that I talk about. Let me tell you something. We had some really good shows lately here. I myself, we have Mrs. Murph, and Mr. Murph, he's her number one fan, supporting. We had Divine, man. She did some musical reviews. It was great. Of course, and I want to apologize to Divine7, aka Miss Philippa Davies of the UK, the home girl. And the reason why I got to drop that apology, because, man, I found myself, I kind of derailed the topic a little bit. I was like drifting off, going into some stupidity. Not all my fault, but yeah, it takes two to tango. So I engaged and ended up kind of going off topic just a bit. But nonetheless, 99.97% of the show was I I love Miss Murphy. You're not explaining yourself against nonsense, are you? No, I engaged in nonsense, and I wanted to apologize to the sister. You know what I'm saying? For that. And she was cool. She didn't say anything. But you know how we do. We're trying to promote this stable content here, and the last thing we need is something dramatic. So I will refrain next time that I'm on anybody's panel. If it's some non-topic subject or something about BlackTube, I am not Divine7. Oh, there she go. Pippa. Hey, what's happening? It's fine. I was all over the place. Yeah, I know, but I got to take personal responsibility as a main. You know what I'm saying? As a main, I got to stay more focused. Like, you know what I'm saying? Especially when we have such beautiful people and beautiful spaces dropping beautiful content, then I must endeavor to keep focused, right, on that content. We were building, and Pippa, as you see, I dropped the song. I took what's his name? My brother. He sent the track over, the one-way slickster. He sent me the track, and I put my little spin on it. I don't know if you heard it. I was kind of juggling around some of my content, my more controversial stuff. I was juggling it a little bit, but I did manage to lay that down. Woke up this morning, came from the gym, dropped the verse, whatever. I wish I could have took more time with it because I'm not the best lyricist when it comes to R&B. But y'all let me know. Let me know what you think about my attempt. Divine7, oh my God, hers, bomb. I can't wait. I want to get my hands on that one. You know what I mean? So I can get into the mix, you know what I mean? And tweak, maybe even do some monologues on it or whatever. Because that's what we do around here. We collaborate, we build. We're going to start trying to bring y'all a lot more real music. I myself personally going to be moving away from all of the BlackTube stuff. I wasn't supposed to be doing that past January 1, but I kind of felt like, well, let me just give the masses something to chew on. And I decided I don't want to do that not really. for reasons we're not going into here because this isn't the place for that. So what are you here for? Why are you here? Well, like I said, we're here to improve the world. I'm here to improve the world, to make it better than what I left it on yesterday. I do feel like that from what I can see, I just got little peeps into some of the personalities and the souls of some of the folks here, man. I gotta say, it's a very, very bright look, and I really appreciate them. Like I said, Divine Seven building. Oh my God, loving it. The music, discussion, loving it. Shout out to the Mugshot crew. Uh, okay, so excuse me, y'all. I got some nerve. Look, it's crazy. I got a pop filter behind my mic on the other microphone. Let me just swing this thing around because I'm being crazy with all these plosives. I got some nerve calling myself a voice actor, and I'm sitting up here like unprofessional as ever. So I'm trying to get this thing to position right. So hopefully, there we go. There we go. I got my wife's stockings in front of the mic now, so we are good to go. Yeah, the Mugshot crew. Shout out to the Mugshot crew. BlackTube, the only place where people with mugshots can disparage and report on other people who have mugshots. In all fairness, sir, if you're going to put up the past criminal cases, you got to put yours up too. It's only fair. See, we trying to make things fair and balanced. It wouldn't be right if I came on here just to talk about you and all of your past mistakes and transgressions. Now, would it? But yet, somehow, your mugshot never seems to make the mix. So we need to work on that, y'all. To the Mugshot crew, let's get all the mugshots uploaded. Let's get them all out, right? So that we can, be fair about things and have a fair and balanced roast. For those of you who like the roast and that being your thing. Man, check it out. So, you will see different levels of content. I try to understand, like I said, what are we here for? I do have questions like, what is it? I'm trying to figure out the repetition of BlackTube. Why do we come here day after day and say the same things over and over, and we just sit through it? That right there, and I'm doing it too. That right there is an indication that something is wrong. Why would I go to eat 3 times a day, go to the same restaurant, and order the exact same plate of food 3 times a day in and day out? Most of us would say that's borderline insanity. I'm going to second that motion. And I have to say that I am amongst the insane if I'm also doing it. I'm trying to move away from that. So I'm in the sector for entertainment, engagement, and building with folks. I enjoy. If folks ain't on that tip, I ain't going. You know what? I want you to know something. I'm gonna get that put on a t-shirt, and I'm gonna take that advice to heart. I have henceforth, therefore, forthwith, and whatnot, hereby do declare and bequeath that from this day forward, I'm going to do like Umfufu does, and I'm coming into this space, YouTube, for entertainment, engagement, and building with folks that I enjoy. If the folks ain't on that tip, I ain't going. So guess what? What that means is, if all of your content is to drag, disparage, put down, criminalize while self-victimizing, then I will not be a part of that. If your content is circulating around where I support you, but somehow I have to get insulted for some reason from time to time because you have to throw a jab to support, I don't know, proof points to your enemies, I will not be sitting in the audience going forward. So if you see me, just color my black ass invisible because I'm nowhere around. I want to go ahead and segue for 1 second to welcome the honey bunny, dripping in the honey. She's so sweet and gooey. That's right, y'all. Full of love. She spreads just fragrant flowers and sunshine everywhere she goes. That's right. We call her Teresa, the honey bunny. That's right. And when she ain't out darlinging all over her town, she comes here to support. That's right, because we are the darlings that she darlings to every damn darling day. So, like to welcome her over here. As usual, appreciate the support. But yeah, no doubt. And what you cook, T? What you cook tonight? Yeah, Arkansas girl. I know she throw down. She cooks from scratch. That's right. That girl ain't got air box in her cabinet. Not a one. You better believe it. She's snapping them peas because her grandmama taught her how to snap them peas. You better not come in her house with a can because she would throw it at you and hit your ass square in the forehead with it. I seen it happen. So when she say bring something, you either you better go get it catered, and you better make sure it's organic because she don't play that shit. She raised them kids on real food. That's right. So see, the thing is, y'all, like I said, we vibe at different levels of consciousness. And you have to ask yourself, I mean, now, you got to be careful. And I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on this. I don't have a whole lot of time to spend. You got to be careful because if you're going to deal in that lower energy realm, then eventually it's going to cause you a headache, which I have found out several times. So I had to ask my silly ass a question. Why do you keep engaging? Why do you keep on trying to entertain folks that ain't on the same level? They not here for what you're here for. They're here to wreak havoc. They're here to be victims. They're here to, I asked myself the question on the last live when I said, damn, if I look at your channel and it ain't no positive content and the people that are surrounding you have no positive content and everything, no matter how it comes across, they always twist into a negative intention, then I have to ask myself a damn question. What am I doing there? I'd like to welcome the Queen of Tallahassee, the Golden Child. Y'all better bow down to the goddess Hathor in all her glory. That's right, Golden Goddess. Let me tell you something. That lady right there, look, I don't be knowing nothing. You hear me? I don't be knowing nothing about celebrity gossip. I don't be knowing nothing about who's who in entertainment. I don't know a lot about much that she puts out, but I learned from listening to her. Great shorts, great production. I'm not understanding why she's not at 500,000 right now. I think Gigi, she probably started another channel or something. But yeah, no doubt, man. She is definitely good at what she does. And I'm gonna tell you that. I'm not just saying that because she just sent me $100 Cash App. That has nothing to do with that. I honestly support and feel strongly about that sister's content. That's right. And fellas, you know what? She ain't hard to look at either. So y'all take your asses on over there and sub to GG and support her. That's right. She be deleting channels. That's right. They done doxed my Buki a few times. They done put her stuff out there. Now here's the thing. I've never seen any of what they put out there about her, nor do I want to see it because I don't care. You know what I'm saying? All I care about is that she keeps doing uploads and shorts that make me say, Cardi B did what? Nicki did who? What happened with Lotto where? You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know. All these new artists, they all look alike to me. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not too familiar with a lot of them. You know what I mean? So I appreciate that and I appreciate your content. But yeah, we all at different levels of consciousness. You know what I'm saying? So I guess by saying that, I can't really pass judgment on those who want to engage in 120% effery. They got to have it, right? And besides, that which you resist definitely will persist. So if I don't want to keep getting stabbed in the neck, hit in the head with hard, solid objects, then I need to just go ahead on and do what I do and keep it bumping, right? Instead of sitting over here. Because sometimes, see, if you come on here, you got to ask yourself a question. I done seen this. If you come on here and you complain about people on a daily basis, but you keep going to arm wrestle with these folks, then I don't know. We got to side eye you a little bit and wonder where you coming from, what you doing with yourself. You know what I mean? And besides, excuse me, I want to get back to that kind of content that I used to do where I had people from multiple areas of BlackTube coming in and supporting. because we have a tendency to want to go for the low-hanging fruit. We want to go for the negativity that everyone else is talking about, and we want to beat on the same person over and over and over and over. For what reason, I do not know. But that's what we want to do. And one day I'm gonna have a real conversation and talking about those folks. Matter of fact, I'll kind of say it here in code, right? Brothers and sisters, you have done things in your life and in your past. You have made mistakes. You have fallen down. You have created engaged in transgressions against people, the community, the municipality where you live, and furthermore. Well, guess what? You know what I'm saying? Tomorrow is the first day of the rest of your life. You can get up, you can do it all over again, and you can do it right. And I'm here to tell you that you can. There's something called redemption, you know. Yeah, when you jump in the mud, people from the outside can't tell the difference between the two. Wow, look at her. Look at her, y'all. Look at the goddess. Look at Hathor. Just coming up with all this deep wisdom and insight. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Man, if she did a channel on that, just her thoughts, bruh, I'd be right there. No doubt. So, brothers and sisters, you can do better. Now, or you can just choose to engage in other people that's dragging you down and trying to drag them down too. Like the brother in the movie, on my little intro there, Brother Ali in the movie when he was giving Killer Bobby Johnson quotes and he said, "You can't hold another man down without being down there with him." Who said that? Now, I forgot the name of the author. Somebody Google it. But it's true. So if I come on here and all I can do is hold you down and put you down and do whatever, go right on ahead. Do what you got to do. Now, sometimes, man, I'm trying to, I think that this social media can also be deadly. I think it's a very useful tool, but I think it can also be deadly. Like, we will come on here, we have a problem, even with someone on social media. We come on to resolve the issue on social media. We go, "Oh, well, I was at your channel and you said this and said that, and you cut me off. I didn't get my point out. That's okay. I'm gonna run to my channel and I'm gonna address what you're saying. I'm gonna come and all of my friends are gonna be there and they're gonna agree and nod and agree with everything I say." You know what though? I thought about that. And I think behind that is a certain level of illness. The reason why, okay, I mean, think about it, right? Let's say you're at work, you're in the office, sipping your tea and entering the data, and you're getting this report together for today's meeting. And for the 18th time, Chad has said some snide comment about your weight. That's right. That's right. He mentioned something about the donuts, and he said, "Megan, are you going to go pick up the donuts?" And you said yes. And she said, "How many will we need?" And he said, "Megan, we're going to need about 8 dozen, or, well, if you're getting them, 10 dozen. Guess what? Guess what you didn't do after that? You did not go out to the parking lot, put your cell phone, your iPhone 16 in the holder, fire up a live, and go on YouTube and cry to all of the people that will hear you listen to about how bad Chad is. Do you know what you really did? Oh, you didn't say nothing. You made a note of the 18th incident. After that, you went to your manager expressing attention that you were going to HR to handle this dummy because he kept messing with you in the real world, and you dealt with that real world problem in the real world. Now, see, if you come on here and you're addicted to this nonsense, then what's going to happen is you will stay inside of this box. You will live in this box. You will breathe in this box. You will come here looking for healing from this box. But the sad part of it is there's no healing here. There's only a quick release of endorphins that will make you feel good for about 0.013 microseconds. And then at the end of that, you're right back at the problem that you had before. This is a quick live, y'all. I just wanted to fire it up because I paid these StreamYard people. They got my money and it's on my own account. So, but at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? We got to ask, who is here is without sin. Because when I listen to all of the attacks And those who feel victimized, oh man, let them tell you. Let them all tell you. They ain't did nothing wrong. I've even seen some of them scream at the top of their lungs. I've never done anything wrong, but yet will come on every day and have nothing but constant attacks of others, right? And they dwell in it. I'm going to take that Miss Murph quote and I'm going to take that and I'm going to run with it. But yeah, I had to come on, man, here and just drop. Let me just, normally I have my normal 12 in the chat, but a couple of us in the boring sector are engaging on our microphones. We're a very small group here. It might be about 10 of us at the most right now. But we're trying to be that change. We want to promote the content that's, sometimes it's just topics. Man, you know what, though, speaking on current events, now I came on here early in the week and I talked about the young brother Cyrus, who had his trial and he was gunned down. Now, I said a lot of things. Of course, I was angry and I don't take any of that back because it really did bother me when I saw the man went free. But from what I understand, because we're on the outside saying he was gunned down. Well, there is murder, okay? And when you want to charge someone, I'm just trying to help y'all, enlighten y'all a little bit, just in case. When you want to charge someone with murder, you have to prove that there was malice, okay? A forethought, right? So that was the charge. Now, I did note last time that the prosecution agreed to have the charge be at murder with no lesser charges. Why? Given the facts of the case, any experienced attorney would realize that that's not going to stick, no matter what you do, no matter how you lay it out, because you have to prove malice. Now, when this young man left the store, when he went into the store, there was no malice. When the young man exited the store, there was no malice. There was a forethought that the young man had stolen something, right? The store owner and his son and the mother went on a pursuit of the young man. That is not malice. No matter how we feel about it, no matter how we want to break it down, no matter how we want to cry racism or anything else, there is no malice at that point. The young man started to run. There was a foot chase. That is not malice. None. Not yet. No malice. No malice. 133 yards later, young man tripped for like the fourth time, hit the ground. And then the son yells out, he's got a gun, and the dad proceeds to shoot the young man. No malice, right? He's got a gun creates a situation for defense or the potential of self-defense, right? Now, did he have a gun? Where is the videotape? Where is the witness? Oh, the witness just happens to be the man's son. And yet this young man, having a gun and having aimed it at his pursuers, allegedly, was shot in the back. Now, I don't know about you or what universe that you live in, but I'm trying to fathom in my mind, unless you're some type of 8-legged being or you're a Hindu god or something, I don't understand how you can be pointing a weapon at a person and positioned in a way where you can get shot in the back. Did the bullet ricochet? No, it did not. It entered the back, went into the lung, the heart bounced off or something. It was a .45 caliber round. And after which, the assailant attempted to render aid. Now, if any of you had any gun training, you already know what they tell you. I feared for my life. I thought it was him or me. I called the ambulance before I called the cops. I tried to render aid. That's going to look real good in court. So, back to this murder charge. Murder. Even at that point, no malice. Now it's a self-defense issue. What happened, though? Well, how are you saying that? If someone died, how is it not murder? It wasn't murder. What it was called voluntary manslaughter is what that charge would have been. Had that been on the case or the case, but see, some folks, we have to get into the mind of the prosecution, maybe feeling like, hey, look, he fell for the hook. I don't know if he was in on the caper. We're not going to charge for any lesser charges. We're just going to make this stick. We're going to go with murder. There was no way in 100 years that you could have proved murder for that. There's no way. Voluntary manslaughter, had that been the charge, that dude would still be in jail right now. The case was just mischarged, period. I don't understand how that is. I would love to talk to that prosecutor to ask why are you working with the defense to say what you're going to charge, why? Isn't it your job you're a veteran? So, folks, that's what went wrong. So if we want to fix this, right, we're going to have to tweak our justice system, which, Lord knows, it is not the best justice system in the world. It is not. It is so flawed. It's flawed to the point it's drenching in capitalism. Those who have money do not go to jail. It is so flawed. Now, I think I addressed this the last time. If I didn't, y'all got to forgive me. I got old timers. There's a flip side of this, and I heard some people saying I agree with it because they kept referring back to the young man on social media holding a gun. Parents, I'm going to say this to you, right? I just saw a news story where there was this graduation, and the kids had a graduation party. They're getting pre-graduation, or they're getting ready to walk the stage and do their thing. Well, somebody at this little gathering, it was outdoors, brandish a weapon, and at the end of all things, one of the youngsters fell dead. And I heard a young man who was there and who was graduating. He spoke to the news and he said one thing. He said, look, man, this don't make no sense. I'm getting ready to go into the military. I just want to live. I should not have to worry about this. And do you know what that young man said? The most profound thing, I'm talking to Generation X. He said, you parents, I think half of this is your fault. You don't know what your kids are doing. You don't know what they're interested in. You don't know who their friends are. You don't know where they hang out at. You don't know anything. All you do is just, you provide for them, you feed them, you clothe them, and then that's the end of the story. He said, you need to go, this is a young man, a senior. You need to go into your kid's room. You need to search stuff. You need to look in their phones. You'd be surprised the stuff that they're getting into out here. Straight up. That's what he said. And he is 1,000% right. Because I'm going to say this, right? Because it's just us here talking to us. The young man, he's on social media with a gun. Y'all better be on your damn kid's social media. Let me tell you something. And I didn't do this, but I'm going to tell you to do it. Next time your child comes bouncing into the room talking about they want the iPhone 18, the beta model that ain't even came out yet, you know what? If they doing good and they deserve it, which I personally don't think they do, they need a damn flip phone. Because let's be for real, y'all. What's the phone for? Other than a damn distraction, right? You get your kid a computer because they're going to use a computer for schoolwork. I don't understand why all of a sudden, I done came through the whole 1970s. We ain't need no phone. The phone was in the principal's office. But anyway, I digress. When you get that phone, you should put every piece of spyware you can get your hands on in it. I'm serious. Because, see, this could save your child's life. You understand? If you got the spyware, you got the codes to everything they're doing. You know if it's a gun on social media. You know if they got drugs on social media. You know if they selling it. You know if they're getting bullied. You know if they're contemplating unaliving themselves. You know, heaven forbid, that your 14-year-old son is in love with an AI program. Yes, this has actually happened. And the AI lady told the young man, I want you to be with me for real. And guess what he did? He took he unalived himself because he wanted to be with his AI love. Now, see, that right there, man, is truly sad on many levels. A 14-year-old in his room, just in there with him and the AI lady. Nah, he need to be out meeting young ladies his age, and he need to handle his business with them. So y'all, you can't. That just goes back to the point. You can't let your kids just raise themselves in the room. You know what? See, the thing is, we're suffering too. We're here on social media more than as much as our kids are. Instead of raising them, we on here doing the TikTok challenge instead of realizing that little Megan's challenge is going on, or little Kevin, he got a challenge. You need to know about that. Just imagine. And I'm not picking on them grieving parents, man. People wanted to drag them, and they just like everybody else. They didn't catch it. They didn't know. The son had another page, but the son had multiple phone devices. He had his mom's phone on him when he was running or whatever, man. And my heart goes out to that family. And I said maybe it's too soon to even talk about that. But yeah, man, you got to spy on these kids, man. You need to know what they're doing. It's either that or just forbid them from having devices. They're not going to die without no phone. There are cultures in this country now where kids operate without the phone. You know what I'm saying? You could have a rule straight up. Hey, look, when you get to school, the security guard is already on alert to take your phone, and you get it back at the end of the day when you leave school. you know? Or better yet, the phone don't need to go to school. If something happened, something could happen. I need to know because, okay, damn. I don't know y'all, but I managed to go to school back and forth 2,879.5 times and never needed a phone along the way. Never had to go to a pay phone, never needed to borrow a quarter, never needed to do nothing. Matter of fact, I have never needed to call home from school in the first 12 years. Never had to do it. Not once. You know what I'm saying? But we going to make excuses. See, a lot of times we get our kids these things because they're status symbols. We want our kids to look like they want to have the certain backpack and the certain sneakers and a certain phone with the jeweled case because they got to look cool. Yeah, he has to be accepted. I don't want him to get picked on or bullied. No, your kid don't need gear and cash to not get picked on. Your kid needs some damn jujitsu lessons. That's the problem. The only muscle they working on is their thumbs playing Madden in 2000 and whatever Call of Duty they can get on. Now, you need to Call of Duty, you need to duty your ass out to that yard and rake them leaves. Go out there and wax on, wax off, wash my damn car. Get out of my house. Go see the world. Explore nature. Get your ass out of here. Straight up. You got to find out. You know what I'm saying? Trust me when I tell you, as a parent, I'm letting you know. I done seen some things. I had to pull the kids up and have discussions, I could sense something was wrong. I just get with let me hold your phone. Oh, look at these text messages here. Who are you talking to? You're senior in high school. You 18. Who is this person? What's up? Oh, I need to talk to the young man. The man. Let me holler at him for a second. You know what I mean? That conversation it ain't gonna be too long. It wasn't too long. And then we had to sit down and have the talk. Like I said, y'all, if you got daughters, you definitely gonna have the talk. And if you got sons, you need to have the talk and not let them run wild. You know what I mean? But anyway, hey, look, I just came on to pop on. You know what I'm saying? I was all happy about my new prescription here, subscription, description. So I wanted to come on and drop that, man. I'm gonna try to put out some more music. I was joking. Somebody commented on one of my tunes. I said, maybe I need to take my act over to the beef sector. Like, no, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing that. It takes a lot of time and money to produce that type of content, y'all. So I want it to be more meaningful, if I put it out, definitely. But how long I've been on here? Damn, I didn't even do an hour. God, I'm slipping. Man, I got to keep going. Surely I got to wrap up with something. You know what I mean? I think, yeah, my homeboy, he up on here. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what's happening. I'll probably go check him out. Femme Fatale 1. Oh, my God. That's my homegirl from the east side, Bel Air Road, Northeast Middle School. Share what's happening with you. That's right. Professional, the night nurse. But seriously, though, when you wake up in the morning, you got to decide. Do you live in a hostile or friendly universe? I woke up this morning and it was hostile. Reason why it was hostile? Because I did not feel like going to the gym. Because they are not delivering my new treadmill until the 21st of the month, and my old treadmill is disassembled. So I had to go over there to the raggedy gym in my hood neighborhood, Planet Fitness with no AC. They didn't have all the bottles and the paper towels. I had to walk halfway across the gym to get it. People got the bottles on the machines. Like, yo, man, I'm driving to the county next time. I got to go do that up here. I'm definitely going to hit up the county with that. But yeah, you dictate how your day will go. Do you live in a hostile or friendly universe? Now, see, sometimes we come on here on the internet and we want to, man, we like to engage in the back and forth. Let me tell you about back and forth. Here's how I go. First, there's a forth, right? That's me. Then there's a back. Something comes back to me. Then I do a conclusion, which might look like a fourth, but if it comes back, that's the end of the story. It's not going to go any further than that. That is the farthest it's going to go. I live in a friendly universe. Everything is in order, no doubt. I started out this live by giving a salutation to what you would call the Most High, but I just want to say this, y'all. It's not, although I was baptized into that faith, that's not how I meant it. I meant it in a way when I say gave homage to what you call Most High. It's not really Most High. It's more like the source of all things. Matter of fact, that being has one attribute, al-Kalum, which is the all, And whether it doesn't matter what we believe in, doesn't matter what we subscribe to, doesn't matter what we're against or we don't believe in, because some of you are agnostic, some of you are atheists. But I'm not asking, what I'm saying has nothing to do with none of those titles. It's just know this. There's one thing that we don't all have to agree on, but we do know as a fact. We're all here right now, and we came from something. We came from a source. Now you can go back to I came from my mama. What you talking about? She came from her mama. 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 Keep going. Go all the way back. Go back a few million years. Go back 20 million years. Keep going. Right? Eventually you're going to give back. You're going to go all the way back to this place at the time when this place was just a molten ball of lava. Keep going back. Eventually you're going to get back to the birth of the sun. Keep going back. Eventually, you're going to give the sector of this galaxy. Keep going. Just keep going. Keep going all the way back. You're going to go back to where your brain can't even fathom anymore. But know this. Doesn't matter how far back you made it. Maybe a big bang. Maybe a black hole. A vacuum in space. Some type of trilateral fold. Dimensional fold that's 11 dimensions deep and you just can't explain it. Whatever it is. Everything's sourced from something. Now that you're here, you got to decide, what are you going to do with it? What you going to do with the 80 plus years that you have in this form? Are you going to waste it and come on every day and be on social media just adding to the stank of the world? Or are you going to come on here and enlighten and go out into the world and change your community and make this thing better? Because right now, it's some evil, nasty powers that are in charge. I know we never talk about that. Well, I hear some people, they're pretty much on one side of the political aisle or the other. They are some of them just have, it's basically all of the talking points of whatever political group that they belong to versus the other political group. But see, here's my whole thing. I want to ask anyone that is in either group, what is either group doing to benefit all Americans? Like, what are they proposing to help all of us? Because all I hear is a lot of corporations, rich people, aristocrats, these elite folks, the 1%. That's all I hear about. I don't hear nobody here talking about, oh my God, my medical plan is better than yours. Oh my God, my fuel crisis relief plan is way better than yours, and I can prove it. Mine's is 50 more pages longer than yours. None of that. It's just a whole lot of cultural wars going on. I'm owning the libs, or I'm look at the MAGA. MAGA's falling. Whole lot of cultural stuff and racism. No real solutions to any real problems. And right now, there's a person that's in charge that is completely suffering from dementia and other kind of ailments. I look at it like this. I'm still in a friendly universe. Every morning I wake up and there's not a mushroom cloud outside of my door. That means I still have the chance of looking out and realizing I'm in a friendly universe. The content I don't have any over sensationalization of anything. I'm going to try to wean myself from that and hopefully bring some more quality stuff. I want to start doing some uploads, but I just can't really find the niche to get into. Now, of course, YouTube itself is flooded with a ton of, oh my God, I almost fell for the trap when this guy put a video out. Oh, you can mass produce these videos and you can get the script written this way and the AI produce this that way and such and such. And I find myself, sometimes I'll see a title and I already know right away it's clickbait. Sometimes I click on it anyway just to be, what do you call the word, defiant. And then I get inside there and realize like this is just a bunch of clips from old news stories they done strung together and try to sell it like it was new. You know what I'm saying? I figure if you get enough fools to click on things and get them to watch long enough. But see, here's the thing. You can look in the algorithm and the, what do you call it, y'all? The metrics, and you can see when people click off of videos, right? So if you really, I feel like this, my, Murph say she'll do uploads one day. You know, I feel like, you know what I'm saying, Miss Murph? I think that I think us doing an upload of just like you just pick a topic and just go off the top of the dome, edit it, put a little intro on it, you know, some graphics, little backgrounds and stuff. Cause see, in my room here, I still have my cameras and green screen and all that I never really use. So, you know, but my whole thing is just finding out like what is it that I really need to say that I feel is important enough I want to share with folks. Well, let me tell you something. That would be my spiritual center, which I'm a little bit left of center right now. So I can't really get deep into that. And I have a whole channel where there's nothing but like meditation stuff, you know. So I'm gonna have to really just focus. And I'm realizing, contrary to my endeavors, is coming onto this social media and engaging in certain things. Like I tune into content and I'm like, damn, there's insult hurled, and I'm like, I was just trying to support the channel. You know what I'm saying? And I'm getting the attack. I go, wow. So I have to ask myself, are you going to keep doing this or are you going to go somewhere else? Well, I do know for the last couple of lives I did, I always complain. I say, man, every time I go live and I say certain things, I always lose a sub. But the last time I gained 2 subs. And I'm like, what caused that? Was that the live or was it the music? I don't know. I like to welcome It's Cheaper to Keeper 116, the homegirl from Chi-Town West Side Scorpions. Y'all know her. Y'all seen her. That's right. She's light, bright, and out of sight. That's the sister, keeper, and man, definitely love to have a conversation with her because she got the, she's the radio voice lady, and she does have a lot of insights. Very mature, experienced woman. Definitely would like to hear more from Keeper. I'm always tuned in when she's on the panel. Now you've learned not to feed the beast. That's funny because the brother put up the title. He said, "Don't feed the beast." I forgot what my response was. That I think I was along the lines of, "We're feeding it right now because we're paying attention to it." You're right. You're right. I'm gonna tell you something, Miss Murph. For real, you're a very wise sister with deep insight. I had no idea when I first encountered you. No idea. But definitely, you know what I'm saying? Like you got certain people you just kind of can heed to and listen to. You happen to be one of them. Because I can definitely heed and listen. And I appreciate you for when you drop the gems, and you're definitely right. Because even talking about it is putting your attention upon it. And the more that you put your attention upon it, the more you create, and these are some of the things that we need to be talking about and teaching folks. Keeping our minds centered, because your thoughts is what you use to create. If you have a negative thought, then the negative thought is creating an emotion to go with that thought. And then from that emotion, the molecules around you and the atoms around you begin to reform, and you actually change reality. Think about that. Every choice that we make, every person makes a choice in so many situations per day, and every choice spawns a new reality. So what's to say that every time you have a thought, you don't just create a whole entire universe that is based on that thought and the creation responding to your thoughts? Just imagine, right? If we knew we had that level of power, or if we know that it's true, then we would definitely corral our thoughts a lot more. Now, see, a lot of people, this is how we normally react as humans. Something happens, we get offended. I know I did at least 8 times this week. And the first thing we do is we tense up, we become angry, right? And then the anger spawns a thought, and the thought says, oh, hell no, you got me effed up, right? And then we have to smack somebody or cuss somebody all the way to F out, right? What we don't realize and what we don't know as mere Homo sapiens, human beings, is that your thoughts or your feelings, the emotions you have, that's your internal spiritual barometer. When you have an emotion that is causing you to feel bad, let's say anger, right? Anger is never a good emotion. You know what I'm saying? It's causing, I'm angry. Do you know why you're angry? You're angry because your thoughts are in alignment with something that's based in anger. What the emotion is telling you, it's not telling you, oh no, I gotta slap somebody now. You know what I mean? Somebody got to get it. See, we call those memes when we say, oh hell no, somebody gotta catch these hands. That's a meme. That's something you were taught and you believed it. But really, the anger is telling you your thoughts are out of line with that which you are trying to create. So, what do? Breathe, focus, shift the thought into something else. The old lady cut me off. Why is she 99 years old? Why does she still have a license? Why is she out on the road? Why don't somebody put her in a nursing home? See all of that? All of those thoughts after you got cut off, none of that is helping your situation. You are still in traffic. You are still behind Mrs. Silverstein, and you're not getting any closer to work than you were before. I ain't spending my free time on with anything that angers me. Sister, I feel you. I'm trying to learn. So, what do? Why is Miss Silverstein in front of you in that 1997 Corolla with the peel and paint, but it only got 22,000 miles on it? Hey, Miss Silverstein, if you ever want to sell that car, please holler at your boy. I love them old Corollas. Them things are rolling tanks, and they never die. But anyway, she came out that morning, Miss Silverstein. She got in her car with her blue hair, and she didn't say nothing to y'all when y'all started taking her colors and putting blue in y'all hair. Y'all know that was an old lady thing at first, but that's okay. Y'all took the blue color. She ain't mad at you. She said, I'm getting in my car unbeknownst to me, and I'm going to teach someone patience this morning by driving at 18 miles an hour. And that's why she exists, and that's why she was there. She was trying to teach you to breathe. She wanted you to go to work and be completely calm and centered because you're about to get your ass handed to you because that presentation that your boss did not do, he's going to tell you to get it done in an hour and 45 minutes, and you better have it done before the meeting with the PowerPoint and everything because he's going to want you to demonstrate. That's right. Once again, he is less experienced than you. Somebody trained him that you trained, and somehow he got promoted. How did that happen? Well, you know how it is. You're working in an environment where sexism is very alive and real. But Miss Silverstein wanted you to have a good day at work, so she came out at the time that she did and got in front of you. So we have to just keep that in mind, man. And it's hard, because you have to practice. You know what I'm saying? And by practice, meaning when you wake up, you got to do your prayer. You got to do your meditation. You got to drink your water. You got to stretch. You got to get your day ready for what you're about to do. Right? And at night, the same thing. You got to get your prayer done. Get your meditation done. Read your book. Do whatever it is that's going to end your day so that you can have a peaceful and restful sleep. That's how it goes. And we have to engage in conversations like this that can help us to remember who we truly are at the core of our being, right? And that you are just that. You are, let me say it right. You're not how can I say this? You're not a human being having a spiritual experience. You're a spiritual being having a human experience. And you got to learn to see it like that. But how can you? When you were born, you're in two boring places, right? You got welcome Josie the Pussycat with the greens, with the red hot peppers in them. So, when we're born, we're not taught these things. We're taught basically from human beings that don't know these secrets or this higher wisdom. They don't know, and they teach us the same. So we end up with all of these memes about how we should retaliate, how we should act, what the proper responses are going to be. Or if you grew up like I was, you was taught like racism. There was always the man. The man was always holding you back, keeping you down. There is racism in the world. Racism is a tool of capitalism, and it is used to keep us poor people at odds, not connecting, not communicating. But we're here to do that because guess what? I don't care what color or culture you are. The message is the same. It's pure. Now, a lot of times we have discussions about that. We want to get caught up in it, but I'm gonna tell you, I'm not gonna go there with you. You know. And as far as this thing that just happened, there's a lot of Asian folks that are coming out offering sympathies and saying, man, we got to do better. We need to relate with y'all better and so on and so forth. And then there are some Asians that are coming out, well, just very, very few that are coming out talking about F you can boycott me, blah, 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 blah. Kind of hard for me to do because there are 2 Asian businesses in my family. So how that work? You know what I'm saying? But see, the thing is, my little cousins, some of you might refer to them as being biracial. You know what I'm saying? They benefit from those Asian businesses. So what would I look like boycotting the aunties? You know what I'm saying? Plus, I get the manicure hookup. You know what I'm saying, man? Fit 60% off. You know what I'm saying? With the foot massager thing. Yeah. So anyway, them ladies ain't never heard of fly, and it always been respectful in their places of business. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, it is what it is. But I'm not gonna fall into that trap, man. I'm not gonna sit up here and get into the trap of talking about, oh, now all of a sudden I'm gonna be mad at Asian businesses and they in our neighborhoods and they this. Okay, let me ask you a question. How did they come to be in the neighborhoods? Well, I don't know if you know, what was it? There were no Chinese immigration until what? It was turned back on what? 1967? Oh, was it? And then when they came here, what happened to those folks, right? They were pooling their money, their resources. They were not allowed to go into white neighborhoods and set up businesses. So where did they naturally end up? In the black neighborhoods. Now, why aren't there black businesses in the black neighborhoods? Well, here's a better question. Why are there poor black neighborhoods? Because there was redlining. My grandfather was not allowed to buy the home that he wanted to buy after World War II. So his home was purchased in the hood. At that time, that was a very good neighborhood, as far as it wasn't a slum. It wasn't what he wanted exactly, but he wasn't allowed to do anything. And to the Chinese joint up on the corner, the food place, let me tell you something. That little dirty spoon down those steps, man, that's got to be the best shrimp fried rice on this planet. It was. Oh my God. So good. Those people were there, man, forever. Never bothered nobody. Never had a problem, right? So they bought businesses in our neighborhoods, and their endeavor was to do better for their families and have the American dream, which they found out when they got here. Quickly, they found out that the American dream was an American farce. It was American fantasy. They got here and was like, what do you mean we can only go into black neighborhoods to do this? We don't want you over here with this crap. Oh, okay, so they're here. Now, of course, they made money. Some of them were allowed to move into some better areas, but they couldn't move their businesses to where they lived. It just wasn't happening at that time. So that's how they ended up here. Now, of course, some of the neighborhoods they were in were very rough. They got called names. It was some pressure, what have you. There was some back and forth, mom and pop. We always call them mom and pop, no matter what city they in, no matter what store they're in. Shout out to mom and pop from China Star, some of the best Chinese food on the east side. I watched them raise their kids in that place, man. Had them working. All of a sudden, all their kids went to college, and guess what? My mom and pop used to be in there cussing each other out. I guess once you do it for like 40 years and you in that kitchen with your wife constantly, they used to go at it. And I was like, it's time for them to really retire. But that was the whole point. I'm pretty sure their kids could afford them a nice retirement. Then they sold the place to their cousins who, oh my God, their cousins burned everything. Horrible. Yo, if you can get good Chinese food in any metro city, I like to know where. A lot of it was already not healthy, but goddamn, I mean, some of this stuff in the hood is ridiculously terrible. So that was the evolution of things. Shout out to the brother that owns Black Dragon down in PG County, a black-owned Chinese food place. There's a thought. You know, and that happens with a lot of folks. They come through the neighborhood, a lot of the money gets pumped out into these businesses. But we talked about that before. I used to be a black business owner. Hey, black people, do me a favor. We talked about this in the past. When you go into a black business, let not the first word out your mouth be a hookup for credit or a discount. You don't do that in any other store that you go in, so please stop doing that. Let me tell y'all a secret about some Asian folks y'all don't know. And by the way, Indians are also Asians. When Indian folks, and I'm talking about East Indians from India, when they support each other businesses, do you know that the prices are actually higher than what it would be for you regular folk? And you know what these folks do? Guess what they do? They pay it. Do you know why would an Indian why would an Indian merchant who owns a restaurant go buy vegetables and rice and stuff from a produce guy and pay more money? Why would he do that? You know why? Because when that guy goes to eat at that restaurant, if the prices are higher, or if he goes to a dental technician that's an Indian, the prices are higher for whatever it is, they support each other because they know that money's coming back to the community. He's like, yeah, I'm going to get about a good 6% more out of you. And when you come over here, I'm going to get 6% more out of you. And they pay it. Matter of fact, there's a guy called, what's that? He's Indian, Russell, the comedian. Oh my God, he's hilarious. And he did a bit where he talks about the Indian businessman ran into a Chinese businessman and they were having this conversation. Man, that's the funniest thing I ever heard. You know what I'm saying? But you gotta appreciate that. And that's what I'm saying. I appreciate that with that brother Russell with his humor. But yeah, man, now how do I know all of this? Well, when you have people in your family that are of the persuasion, you listen and you learn things. Maybe back in the day, I was dating a chick, you know what I'm saying? And she broke it down for me. You know what I mean? She was like, look, my father, you can't really come to the house. Why? Why I can't come to the house? She said, my father's not racist, but he's worried about what his friends will say. He don't care. Of course he don't care. He has a bar and he has a bar on Park Heights. Y'all know West Side. If any of y'all familiar with that, West Side and Cold Spring, right? She said, you can I went to the house, but I had to go while dad was at the bar. But I'm just saying, he was worrying about what his friends would say. Now here's a question. Why should his friends care? Well, they were told, a lot of folks was told, don't hang with them black people. Like, don't talk to them. They're criminals. They're going to steal. They're going to do this. See, a lot of minorities get programmed with that thinking when they get here. Can you imagine what would happen if all of the minorities who came to this country moved into our neighborhoods? Now, a lot of times, I don't know about y'all, but I grew up in some neighborhoods that were multicultural. And man, we got a fascination out of that. We used to like hearing about them, learning about them, seeing what kind of toys they have, going to their house, smelling the weird smells, and like, damn, what's your mama cooking with? You know what I mean? Tasting some of the food, what have you. But can you imagine what would happen if they did talk to us, if they didn't have any fears, and even people from Africa? What if they didn't believe the hype and they said, man, these black people ain't so bad. They coming here, they giving me money. Maybe I can do some business with them. But see, they got these slang, some countries got these slang words for us. So they get programmed with that. So what would happen is if we all got together and was just like fellowshipping and building and learning from each other, oh my God, we couldn't have that. Because then we'd realize we're all getting duped and being programmed with division and separation. You know what I'm saying? And then those in power would not like the result. So that's why that happens. You know what I'm saying? So she said, wait a minute. I see a comment on my screen. One of the reasons why black dollars don't stay in the neighborhoods. You know what's funny? That you mentioned that. I always like to talk about it. On one half of my neighborhood is completely Jewish. I happen to be in the middle of the block. The Jewish dollar circulates 10 or 11 times in this community before it leaves. How do I know? Well, I think I told this story a long time. I'm not going to go into the whole story. Let's just say there was a Jewish businessman who had an auto shop, and he did something that the Jewish community did not like. He sold the car, the engine blew up. It was under the warranty. He didn't honor it. Do you know what the rabbi did? He blacklisted him. Because see, in the Jewish community, they're not gonna go shoot up the place. They ain't gonna go fist fight. They're gonna go to the synagogue, the religious head, and they brought this problem to him. And the rabbi said, "Hey, look, man, it's a used car. It's within 30 days. You need to make this right." Well, I don't think he should have changed the oil. Guess what? The rabbi made a decision. Boom, guess what? We're all going over here to the Gentile shop for a while. Now, it was my buddy Chucky's shop. So when the rabbi came in to see Chucky, he said, "Look, man, you about to get a whole lot of," and by the way, Chucky was a white dude on the west side in the neighborhood. Him and his dad they had that shop there since, I don't know, since the 70s. But anyway, he said, "You about to get a whole lot of business from us." So then the rabbi told Chucky, he said, "Oh, by the way, when all my people come in here, they're gonna pay you with this funny money." It looked like kind of monopoly money. And he told Chucky, he said, when they come in here to get their work done, you're gonna fix their cars. They're gonna give you this money with this symbol on it. It ain't real money. But I want you to bring that money to me, and I'm gonna cash it in for you. I'm gonna give you real cash for this money, less 5%. Now, what kind of stuff is that? Wait a minute. So I did $1,500 worth of work today, and you mean to tell me I'm gonna bring you $1,500 this monopoly money, but I'm gonna go home with $75 less? Yes. Rabbi said that's how it works. Well, Rabbi, let me ask you a question. What happens to the 5%? That goes to the community. Oh my God. These people got their own damn money system. They got their own Federal Reserve in their community. Meanwhile, the black dollar stays in the black community for, drumroll, 90 minutes. Y'all can't wait to throw them purses open and just chuck the money all over the place. Let me stop at New York Chicken. Let me stop over here at Ming's Beauty Supply. Let me stop over here at you know what I'm saying? It's going everywhere, but back into the community. So when those people have that type of setup with that money system, that means now you can see why that dollar is 11 or 12 times over, because they handing the funny money back and forth to each other. You know what I'm saying? No, you know what's funny, Ms. Murph? It's actually true. It's probably shorter than that. I'm paraphrasing. In the Latino community, it's like 5 or 6 times. I mean, but the point is that dollar moves. And can you imagine if we had our own money? See, how can we do that? It'd be all kind of lack of trust. Oh man, shit, yeah, I need a real bill. I'm not. Yeah, but look at that power though. Do you know what that means? Not only does that bill circulate all those times, but 5% of every dollar. Okay, I want y'all to close your eyes for a second. One of y'all, I know y'all statisticians in here. How much money does the black community spend annually? How many, what is it? Is it like 2.3 trillion or something? It's some ridiculous ass number. It's some number that's so high that if we literally didn't spend money for 30 days, I don't know how we would do it, but if we literally did it, the economy would like feel the ripple. Like it would ripple, right? Because remember, we're the consumers, 90 minutes or less. That money's going out. So without that influx of money, they would feel it. So now, let me ask you a question. What would happen? I mean, I'm about to fall out. What would happen if 5% of every black dollar found its way back into the black community everywhere everybody lives to build and promote that community? Bro, you talking, that sounds like racism my ass. Dude, that's economics. That's nothing to do with racism. Every group should do that. Every group should follow that model. We're not going to go into American history about the Federal Reserve and how it came to be. But just imagine. Hell, I'll do you one better. Forget the 5%. Just imagine if there were more black businesses in your community and you supported them. And you didn't go in there and ask for credit and a hookup and a discount. Like my family members to this day who still owe me money got credit and the discount. Oh yeah, I was being Mr. Nice Guy. I would never do that again. Right? Now they walking around acting like they ain't talking to me. Meanwhile, your black ass owed me $300. for that starter I put in your car, right? So now the reverse of that is, to all of you business owners, do me a favor. Do me a favor. Brother, you ordered a gross of logos that you had made up by a graphic artist. You paid about 60 cents per logo. Then you went and bought a goo gob amount of these different color hoodies. And you had the logo put on the hoodie. And then you came to me with a straight ass face and said, bro, I got that 2XL. Yo, I'm a designer now. I'm like Carl Kanai. This hoodie is $350. Brother man, how much did it cost you to produce that hoodie? Well, you produced a hoodie for approximately $27.42. Parts and labor. Why are you trying to sell me this hoodie like your name is Oscar De La Renta, Gloria Vanderbilt, Louis Vuitton, Fosachi? You're not them people. You're not even Carl Kanai. Look up his history, how he started. And that's what I'm saying. That's the flip side of it. The overpricing. Man, you got to support me. The brothers need. Do me a favor. If we're doing business, don't mention black to me. Don't mention about no brothers. Don't mention about nothing being black. Don't come at me with none of that stupidity. I don't want to hear it. It has nothing to do with me and you doing business. Respect the fact that my dollar took a while for me to earn and is very important. Every ethnicity does it as practice. Got it. No doubt. But why spend that much on the Gucci or other brand name without question? You know what, though? I always say that, and I said that early on. I said, damn, y'all take y'all black asses to all these stores and the malls and all that. You never once say, dude, let me see next time you go shopping and you push that cart around in Giant Foods or A&P, Pantry Pride, whatever the hell, Superfoods, I don't know, whatever you, Food Lion, whatever you got where you live, and you walk up and down the aisles for approximately 49 minutes and 38 seconds, and you manage to fill up that cart. And when you go up front to that cashier in that establishment at Food Lion, and she totals it up and says, ma'am or sir, that'll be $239.71. How will you be paying, cash or card? Do you say, hey, look, I'm saying, right? Let me holler at you for a second. I'm saying, work with me, yo. I'm saying, yo, can you look out? Can you look out for a brother? Can't we write? Let me holler at you. You don't ever do that. You know what you do? You swipe the card, you take your ass on. Do the same thing when you roll up in the black business. Get the food, swipe the card, and take your ass on. Nobody's paying you because you're black. Where did you get that from? Now, in the 40s, a lot of our communities, we couldn't go anywhere and shop, so a lot of the stuff was right there in our towns. And it was none of that. We extended credit sometimes to each other because we knew each other. We knew, damn, he just lost his job and that baby needs some shoes. Man, it's another steel mill over in Sumter County. He gonna go over there. He'll be back to work within a week or two. So you're not worried about it. Know what I'm saying? But anyway, man, I thank y'all for listening. I made it to an hour. That's what I was trying to do, man. And I just came from the top of the dome, sharing all this with you. I need to start writing this stuff down so I don't repeat myself, because I don't want to. You know what? If I do repeat myself, so what? Maybe somebody gonna hear it that didn't hear it the first time. You know what I'm saying? But I thank y'all. I know my brother's up on there. I'm gonna have to go check him out as I go up here and deal with these clothes I do not want to take care of, but I don't let nobody touch my collection. So, you know what I'm saying? I got to take care of some business and try to get some rest. And I think I'm going to go into the office tomorrow, even though I'm thinking, I probably work from home. I don't feel like getting up and right. But then again, if your loved one ain't working from home, that means they going to be up, so you going to be up with them. But you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go out and try to walk a mile, you know what I'm saying, before I start work and get them juices flowing. But yeah, I had dropped the link. I don't know. I do that on my way out just in case. I appreciate you, Miss Murray. I appreciate you more than you know. You tell Eddie that I said he a lucky man. He a lucky man. He must got a 4-leaf clover tattooed on his back. He a lucky man. Tell him I said that. Sure enough. I thank y'all though. Let me see here now. Now they say I gotta set the outro video. I gotta do all that. Damn. Man, they messed me up big time. I don't even know where my stuff is. They done switched me They switched me from they switched me when my little thing had ran out, and then my little membership, and then I cranked it back up. So I'm going to be using the hell out of this. You know what I'm saying? And hey, look, if I end up with a Cash App or something, that's cool. I didn't run the banner or anything like that, but if it happens, it happens. You know what I'm saying? I'm just going to come on here, man, try to be that change. I am all about building and creating, though. I like to make things with my hands to show y'all. So I'm going to try to come up with some content or some ideas, or maybe, take my time, put some thought into it, do some reviews of some topics during the week, and then I will come support y'all just the same. I know my homegirl, Raw B, got I think I saw she had a live going, and she had a lot of people on the panels, man, talking about some good stuff. You know what I mean? And sometimes they get heated because they're very passionate about what they know, and you could probably learn something too. So anyway, I thank y'all, man, for coming and hanging out. And I leave you with the words of peace and tranquility. Thank you, Miss Murph.